Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into the story of Gukesh D. The 18-year-old who just became the youngest world chess champion in history. You guys sent us a ton of stuff about this chess prodigy, and wow, it's amazing.
It's really interesting to see how his journey shows like a mix of natural talent and incredible dedication, plus a strategic mind that just thrives under pressure. We're going to break down 15 key facts about Gukesh's climb to the top of the chess world. And, we're going to try to figure out what makes him so special.
Okay, so fact number one.
Mm-hmm.
Gukesh became a grandmaster at 12 years and 7 months old? I mean, that's almost unheard of in the chess world, right? Most players don't get that title till they're much older.
Exactly.
Well,
this just shows how much talent he has and how early he dedicated himself to the game. He was so close to breaking the record for the youngest grandmaster.
And it wasn't just luck that got him there. Fact number two is all about how he earned that title. By winning the Under-12 World Youth Chess Championship back in 2018. It wasn't just about winning a tournament. It showed he could dominate on a global stage, even at that age.
For sure. Winning the World Youth Championship was huge for him to become a grandmaster. But it also showed how competitive he is and that he can perform under pressure, which is like a signature part of his style.
So he starts strong, and he keeps going. Fact number three brings us to 2022, the FIDE Chess Olympiad. This is a big deal for Gukesh, and for India, too.
The Olympiad is like the Olympics of chess. It's where the best players from all over the world compete. And Gukesh, he was only 16, he played a crucial role. He didn't just win an individual gold medal, he also helped India secure a bronze medal for the team. It was like, here he is on the world stage.
And that performance at the Olympiad, it seems like it led to even bigger things. Fact number four is a big turning point. In 2024, at 17, he becomes the youngest winner of the Candidates Tournament ever. What makes this tournament so important?
The Candidates Tournament, it's like a super competitive knockout round with the top chess players in the world. The winner gets to challenge the world champion. So when Gukesh won, it was a huge deal. It meant he was going up against the best in the world for the ultimate title.
And that leads us to fact number five. This is like the peak of his achievement so far. December 2024, he beats Ding Lirren to become the world chess champion at just 18 years old.
It's unbelievable, right? I mean, this win, it solidifies his place in chess history, he breaks a long-standing record, and it basically changes the whole landscape of competitive chess. The match itself was intense, super close. It ended 7.5 to 6.5. Gukesh proved he wasn't just a rising star, he was a true force to be reckoned with.
We've established that he's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
But what is it that makes him such a strong player?
Fact number 6 dives into one of his strengths. His insane accuracy during games. Analysts have called it near perfect. What does that even mean practically? Chess, it's all about calculations and strategy. And even a tiny mistake can mess everything up and you can lose the game. Gukesh's accuracy means he makes hardly any errors. He can calculate moves way in advance, and he can see what his opponent is going to do with amazing precision. That lets him control the game and use even the smallest opportunities.
So it's not just about making good moves, it's about not making bad ones and using your opponent's weaknesses against them. And it seems like this accuracy comes from, a deep understanding of the game. Fact number 7. Gukesh has mastered chess theory, which helps him make the right decisions and build winning strategies. What exactly does that theoretical knowledge include?
Chess theory, that's like a massive body of knowledge about how to play the game, opening moves, endgame techniques, strategies that have been developed over centuries. It's all in there. And Gukesh, he's obviously spent hours studying this theory. You can see it in his games. He's not just going with his gut. He's using a deep understanding of the fundamentals of chess.
And fact number 8 adds even more to his skills. Gukesh is incredible at endgame techniques. This lets him turn even slightly advantageous positions into wins. Why is being good at the endgame so important?
The endgame? That's the final stage of a chess game. Fewer pieces on the board, and things get super complex. Even a small advantage can decide who wins. Gukesh, he's a master of endgame principles and techniques. He can navigate these tricky situations with precision, making every move count, and squeezing out wins even when his opponent thinks they can get a draw.
Okay, so we've talked about his talent and his technical skills. But chess is also mentally demanding. Fact number 9 is about Gukesh's mental toughness. Even though he's young, he's incredibly composed and resilient under pressure. Why is mental strength so important in top-level chess?
High-level chess matches, they can be so intense. Players are under so much pressure. You lose focus for a second, it can cost you the game. Gukesh, he can stay focused, stay calm, make good decisions even in the toughest spots. That shows his mental strength. It's a big reason for his success.
And that mental strength probably comes from, another key factor. His dedication to training and getting better. That's fact number 10. He's known for practicing like crazy, spending hours studying games, openings, and honing his tactical skills.
There's a saying, right? Talent is nothing without hard work. And Gukesh, he's the perfect example of that. He's dedicated to getting better all the time. That's what lets him turn his talent into actual wins. That discipline, that's what sets him apart, even from other top players.
And all that hard work has definitely paid off. Fact number 11 brings us back to the impact of his World Championship win, especially in India. His win has sparked celebrations all over the country. He's a national hero. He's inspiring tons of young chess players.
It's a huge win for India. It really is. He's become a symbol of what's possible with talent, hard work, and dedication. His story really speaks to people, especially young people. It shows that in chess, an Indian can be the best in the world.
Speaking of the rise of Indian chess, fact number 12 talks about a golden generation of Indian players, with Gukesh leading the way. This suggests that chess is becoming more and more popular in India. What do you think is driving this surge in interest?
Well, there are a few things going on. First, Gukesh's success and the success of other young Indian players has created a lot of excitement around chess. Second, chess is more accessible now thanks to online platforms and more coaching. It's easier to learn and play. And third, people are realizing that chess is good for your brain, so more parents are encouraging their kids to play.
So it's a mix of inspiration, access, and people realizing the benefits of chess. Now, fact number 13 takes us a little bit into Gukesh's background. He comes from a family that's big on academics. Both his parents have PhDs. How do you think this upbringing might have influenced how he approaches chess?
Well, his parents have always supported his chess career, but they also really value education and being well-rounded. I think that probably made him love learning, be disciplined in how he solves problems, and gave him the analytical skills you need for chess. It shows that being intellectual in different ways can really help you in chess.
It sounds like it's a mix of nature and nurture. And fact number 14 shows us another side of his personality that makes him so inspiring. He's achieved so much, but he's known for being humble and down to earth.
He's really humble, it's true. He's stayed grounded despite his fame. You often see him with fans, sharing his knowledge, encouraging young players. He's genuinely humble, and that makes his achievements even more impressive.
And lastly, fact number 15 is a fun fact. Gukesh is a big Iron Man fan.
Yeah?
I guess even chess champs have their heroes, right?
Totally. It reminds us that even someone with his talent and dedication is still a young person who likes things that other young people like. Welcome back to our deep dive into Gukesh D.
So in part 1, we went through like 15 key facts about him. We got a good picture of how he became the youngest world chess champion ever.
Yeah, now let's focus on how he actually plays. We've got some of Gukesh's games you sent over, and one thing that really stands out is his control of the center of the board. Right from the opening moves, it's like he's taking charge.
I saw that too. It seems like in almost every game, he's trying to get his pieces to dominate those central squares.
That's a key part of his style, and it's super smart. Control the center, and your pieces can move more freely, have more influence on the whole board. It's like having the high ground in a battle, right? You can kind of control what happens from there.
So it's not just about being in the center, it's about using that control to launch attacks, right? I've seen how he uses it to put his opponents on the defensive.
Exactly. He builds up this strong presence in the center, and then he uses that to create threats, limit what his opponent can do, and basically set the pace of the game. In one of the games you sent, he was playing a top grandmaster, and Gukesh's control of the center was so tight, his opponent could barely move their pieces.
Wow, it's like he's slowly squeezing his opponent until they can't take the pressure anymore.
That's a good way to put it. But, Gukesh isn't just an attacker. He's also amazing at defense. The sources talk about how he can find hidden ways to defend, these subtle moves that can turn the game around.
So even when he's under attack, he's not just sitting there, he's looking for ways to counterattack and take back control.
That's right. He's really resourceful when he's defending. There was this one game, I think it was from the Candidates tournament, where his opponent was attacking like crazy. A lot of players would crumble. But Gukesh, he stayed calm, found the right defensive moves, and then he flipped the script and won the game.
It's incredible how smoothly he can switch between attacking and defending.
Yeah.
It shows how deep his understanding of strategy is. That's pretty rare, especially for someone so young.
Yeah, no doubt. His mix of tactical skills, understanding of positions, and that mental toughness, that's what makes him so hard to beat. He's always pushing the boundaries of chess strategy.
Now let's talk about the bigger impact of his win. We talked about how he's a hero in India, but some sources say his win means more than just national pride. They're saying it could change the whole world of chess.
A lot of people see Gukesh's win as a sign that India is becoming a powerhouse in chess. It's not just him, there's a whole bunch of talented young Indian players coming up. This is leading to more investment in chess in India, better training, and more young people wanting to play.
So his win is like a spark, making chess grow even faster in India, putting it on the map as a major force in the game.
Exactly. And the rest of the world is noticing. Other countries see what's happening, and the competition is getting tougher, which is actually good for chess overall. It pushes everyone to play better.
It's exciting to think about how this might change chess in the future. But what about Gukesh's future? He's the champ now, and there's a lot of pressure to stay on top. How do you think he'll handle that?
That's the big question, isn't it? Staying on top, it's probably even harder than getting there. He's going to have other top players coming after him, studying his games, trying to find his weaknesses.
He can't just relax now. He needs to keep getting better, find new ways to surprise his opponents, and keep up with how chess theory is changing all the time.
Exactly. He's got to be constantly learning, always trying to improve. But, from what we've seen, how dedicated he is to training and how he pushes the boundaries, I think he's totally up for the challenge.
It'll be interesting to watch his career unfold. His story is already inspiring. I can't wait to see what he does next.
A lot of the sources you sent, they compare Gukesh to Magnus Carlsen, the guy who dominated chess for over a decade. You think that's a fair comparison at this point?
Yeah, it's natural to compare them, especially since they both became world champions so young. But they're different players, with different styles and strengths.
Right. Carlsen was known for being intuitive, his amazing endgame technique, and how he could dominate his opponents mentally. Gukesh has great endgame skills too, but his style is more about strategic control, especially in the middle game.
I agree. We don't know yet if Gukesh will be as dominant as Carlsen was. Carlsen was just exceptional. But it's clear that Gukesh has what it takes to be a major force in chess for years to come.
Now, something that comes up a lot in the sources is Gukesh's impact on India, inspiring a new generation of players.
Yeah, his win has gotten a lot of young people in India excited about chess. We've talked about the golden generation of Indian players, but what are some of the actual effects of this Gukesh effect, as some are calling it?
Well, one thing you see is more people playing in chess tournaments and events all over India. Schools are teaching chess and chess clubs are popping up everywhere. It feels like chess is becoming more mainstream, not just for a small group of people.
That's amazing. It's not just about creating more professional players, but about making chess more accessible and popular at the grassroots level, right?
Exactly. And that's leading to better support for chess in India. More coaching programs, training academies, even special schools just for chess. It's creating a better environment for young players to learn and grow.
It sounds like his success has created a positive feedback loop. Success leads to more interest, more investment, and then even more success.
That's a perfect way to put it. And it's not just in India. Gukesh's story is inspiring young people all over the world to take up chess. He's a symbol of what's possible with hard work, dedication, and passion for the game.
It's incredible how much one person's achievements can impact the whole world. Let's talk about the challenges Gukesh might face in the future, trying to stay world champion. We've talked about how he needs to keep evolving, but what else might he have to deal with?
Well, one of the toughest things for any world champion is the pressure and attention. Every move he makes will be analyzed, every game will be studied, he'll be playing the best in the world, and they'll all be trying to beat him.
Yeah, that must take a toll mentally and emotionally. He'll need support, a healthy lifestyle, and a way to manage the pressure and expectations of being at the top.
Absolutely. And he'll need to stay ahead of the curve in chess theory and technology. Chess engines, those computer programs that can analyze millions of moves, they're always getting better. And top players use them all the time for training and even during matches.
So it's not just playing against humans, but also keeping up with the tech side of chess. He'll need to understand both the human and the computer aspects of the game.
Yep. And then there's the challenge of just staying passionate about the game, keeping that motivation going for years. Playing chess professionally is tough, a lot of travel, intense competition, long hours of study. It takes a lot of dedication to do that year after year.
It's not just talent and skill, it's also about being tough, persevering, and really loving the game. We'll see how he deals with those challenges, but from what we've seen, his determination and work ethic suggest he's got what it takes.
I agree. And no matter what happens in the future, Gukesh has already done something amazing. He's not just a chess champion, he's an inspiration. His story shows how much potential humans have and the impact one person can have on the world.
That's well said. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's think about what Gukesh's rise means for chess as a whole. Some people are saying his win could be a turning point for the game.
That's an interesting thought. We've talked about the impact on India, but his win could also change things for the whole chess community.
For instance, some experts think that his youthful energy and fresh style could make chess more creative and dynamic, breaking away from old, predictable patterns.
That's possible. Gukesh's approach is very dynamic, very adaptable. He's always pushing the limits and challenging how people think about chess. He might inspire other players to try new things, leading to a more exciting and unpredictable game.
It's amazing to think about how one player's style can change the whole game. Before we move on to the last part of our deep dive, let's talk about something that came up in a lot of the sources you sent. The role of technology in modern chess, especially chess engines.
Yeah, chess engines have become essential for top players. They use them for training, analysis, and even during matches, although there are rules about how they can be used in official games.
So they're important tools, helping players analyze positions, figure out strategies, and even guess what their opponent might do next.
Exactly. But using these engines also raises some interesting questions about what chess really is. Some people argue that relying on technology too much takes away from the human element of the game. They say it becomes more about algorithms and less about human skill.
That's a valid point. There's something beautiful and artistic about human chess, the intuition, the creative sacrifices, the mental game between players. Machines can't fully capture that, no matter how powerful they are.
I agree, but technology is just a tool, right? Like any tool, it depends on how you use it. It's up to the players.
So for players like Gukesh, the challenge is to use technology to their advantage, but also keep the human element of chess alive. It's about using technology to understand the game better, not to replace their own creativity and intuition.
Exactly. And ultimately, it's that human element, the passion, the creativity, the strategic brilliance that makes chess so captivating.
That's a great point. As we go into the final part of our deep dive, let's explore the deeper meaning of chess, what Gukesh's journey can teach us about resilience, strategy, and the pursuit of excellence. Welcome back to the deep dive. So as we wrap up our look at Gukesh Adie's incredible journey, I thought we could shift gears a bit and delve into some of the more philosophical and psychological aspects of chess that his story kind of brings to light.
Yeah, it's really something, isn't it? How chess, a game on a 64-square board, can teach us so much about human psychology, strategy, and even the pursuit of excellence. Gukesh's journey is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. You send over some sources that really get into the mental game of chess, things like resilience, focus, and the ability to learn from, both your wins and your losses.
Yeah.
How do you see those qualities playing out in Gukesh's game?
Well, resilience is crucial in chess. I mean, you're going to face setbacks, you're going to lose games, even the best players in the world do. What sets the great players apart is how they bounce back. They analyze what went wrong, they learn from it, and they come back even stronger. And Gukesh, he's demonstrated that over and over again. Losses don't get him down, they actually push him to improve.
That's such a valuable lesson, not just for chess, but for life in general. It's about having that growth mindset, seeing setbacks as chances to learn and grow. And what about focus? How does that factor into Gukesh's success?
Focus is everything in chess. You've got to calculate moves way ahead, figure out what your opponent's thinking, and stay completely focused, sometimes for hours. Gukesh's ability to do that, even under pressure, is amazing. It really shows his mental discipline and how dedicated he is to the game.
It's almost like a form of meditation, that intense concentration on the present moment, shutting out everything else.
Yeah.
And speaking of distractions, one of the articles you sent mentioned how social media and technology are affecting people's attention spans, especially young people. Do you think that's a problem for aspiring chess players?
It's definitely a challenge. It's hard to develop that deep focus that chess requires when you're constantly connected and getting bombarded with notifications and all that. But it's also an opportunity. Chess can be like an antidote to all those distractions. It teaches you to slow down, think deeply, and concentrate for a long time. Those are skills that can help young people in all areas of their lives.
It's about finding that balance, right? Using technology to learn and connect, but also knowing when to unplug and focus. So let's talk a bit about the bigger cultural impact of Gukesh's win. We talked about the Gukesh effect in India, how more people are playing chess now. But what about globally? What does his win mean for the rest of the world?
Gukesh's win is a powerful symbol, I think. It shows how globalization is changing things and how the balance of power in the world is shifting. For a long time, chess was dominated by players from Europe and the US. But now, with Gukesh's win and with other young players emerging from Asia and other parts of the world, it's a new era for chess. It shows that the game is becoming more accessible, and there's a lot of talent in places that maybe weren't recognized before.
It's really interesting to see how a game like chess can reflect these bigger changes in society and culture. And it's not just about where people are from, right? It's also about age. Gukesh's win at his age, it challenges the idea that chess is only for older, more experienced players.
Exactly. His win inspires young people everywhere. It shows that age doesn't matter when it comes to achieving great things. If you have the talent, the dedication, and you're willing to put in the work, you can do anything. That message goes way beyond chess.
It's a message of hope, a possibility of breaking down barriers. And speaking of breaking barriers, one of the sources talked about the lack of women in chess. Historically, it's been a very male-dominated game. Do you think Gukesh's success could help change that?
I hope so. I really do. His win and the success of some amazing female players like Judith Polgar and Hao Yifan, they're challenging that stereotype that chess is just for men. More girls are playing now, and things are slowly starting to change, in terms of the gender balance in chess.
That's great to hear. It's about making chess welcoming and supportive for everyone, no matter their gender, so they can follow their passion. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to touch on one more thing. We've talked about how chess teaches us about strategy, resilience, and focus. But what about the deeper meaning, the philosophical side of it? What does chess tell us about competition, about winning and losing, about being human?
Wow, that's a deep question. I think chess at its heart is a mirror of life itself. It's a game of strategy, planning, anticipating what your opponent will do, taking risks. But it's also a game of chance, things you don't expect, moments of brilliance, and, moments where you mess up. Just like life, you can't control everything in chess. You can make the best moves, but sometimes you get unlucky, and sometimes you just make mistakes, even when you're trying your best.
So it's about accepting that uncertainty, that unpredictability of life, and learning to handle success and failure with grace.
Exactly. And Gukesh's journey, I think, shows that perfectly. He's achieved incredible things, but he's had setbacks too. He's learned from both, and he's come out stronger. His story reminds us that the journey matters just as much as the destination. And real success isn't just about winning, it's about how you play the game.
That's a great way to put it. Gukesh's journey is an amazing example of human potential, of the beauty of strategic thinking, and why chess is such a fascinating game. His story inspires us all, showing us that with dedication, resilience, and a passion for excellence, we can achieve anything, on or off the chessboard.
And as we finish this deep dive, I want you all to think about this. What can we learn from Gukesh's journey? How can we use those lessons in our own lives, in our own goals, in our own pursuit of excellence? That's something to ponder as we end our exploration of Gukesh, the youngest world chess champion the world has ever seen.